This is Disney's live-action remake of Moana, released July 10th, 2026, 10 years almost to the day after the animated original. Directed by Kail, yes, the Hamilton guy, and starring newcomer Catherine Laga'aia as Moana, with Dwayne Johnson back as Maui. Full spoilers ahead, including the ending, so if you haven't seen it yet, bookmark this and come back. This is not a reinvention. It's one of the more faithful entries in Disney's live-action remake cycle, closer to The Lion King 2019 than something like Maleficent that goes off and does its own thing. The plot is essentially untouched. Moana, daughter of the chief of Motunui, is drawn to the ocean her whole life. When a mysterious blight starts killing the island's crops and fish, her grandmother Tala reveals the truth. Centuries ago, the demigod Maui stole the heart of the goddess Te Fiti, and someone has to return it before the darkness spreads to every island in the Pacific. So Moana sails out, finds Maui, drags him, reluctantly, back into heroism, and the two of them fight their way toward Te Fiti's island. A few scenes stand out as the film's real selling points. How Far I'll Go is the first big test, and it's where Laga'aia wins people over. Critics have specifically called out how her voice and screen presence carry this number, even though she's a total newcomer. The Kakamora chase and Tamatoa's cave, with Jermaine Clement returning to voice the glam rock crab, are both still here, mostly intact, and reviewers agree these sequences are some of the most visually fun in the movie. Then there's the climax. Moana and Maui reaching Te Fiti's island, only to be blocked by Taka, the lava demon. Maui's wing gets clipped mid-fight, he abandons the mission out of fear, and Moana has to go on alone. That whole emotional beat where she chooses to return the heart herself is preserved almost shot for shot from 2016. Here's the actual spoiler people are asking about. What's different? The ending adds two things the original didn't have. A formal coronation scene where Moana is crowned the next chief of Motunui, something the animated film only implied. A brand new original song over the credits called Along the Way, written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, performed by Laga'aia, Johnson, and Auli'i Cravalho, the original animated voice of Moana, together. Everything else lands the same way it did before. Taka is revealed to actually be Te Fiti in her wounded, tortured form. Moana returns the heart, the island blooms back to life, and Grandma Tala's spirit, now a manta ray, watches from the water as the village rediscovers its identity as voyagers. Beyond the ending, the tweaks are mostly texture, not plot. This version spends more time on what's happening back on Motunui while Moana is away, and leans harder into Polynesian cultural specificity, more time with ancestry, wayfinding, and tradition as concepts, not just as backdrop. Maui himself plays a little more world-weary and aged here than his bouncy animated counterpart, which some reviewers liked as a character choice, and others read as the performance just being flatter. This is where the movie gets genuinely divisive, and I mean genuinely. Not the usual critics versus audiences split, but critics disagreeing hard with each other. On one end, Variety called it flat out the best Disney live-action remake yet, arguing it actually earns a place next to the original, rather than just cashing in on it. Several trade reviews single out Laga'aia specifically as a real find. On the other end, Deadline tore into it, describing the performances as lifeless and the whole project as artistically hollow, even taking a shot at some of the visual effects work as looking barely distinguishable from AI-generated backgrounds. Geek Vibes Nation was similarly brutal, folding it into the broader complaint about Disney's remake strategy in general. Most other outlets land in the middle. Solid, but redundant. The most common phrase across reviews, in one form or another, is some version of, "It's fine, but why does it need to exist?" with credit going to the cast and songs, and criticism aimed at the film not doing anything the animated version didn't already do better. Audience reaction has actually trended warmer than critics overall. A lot of viewer comments describe it as familiar but fun, and several parents specifically noted their kids loved it, without reservation. So, is it good? Depends what you're asking it to be. As a shot-for-shot live-action retelling with a new coronation scene and one extra song, it delivers exactly that, competently, with a genuinely strong lead performance. As a reason to exist independent of nostalgia and box office math, the case is a lot weaker, and plenty of critics aren't shy about saying so. So, what do you think?